Alright, we are here in Calgary. And there is our plane, Canadian North. So I was able to find a livery. This is their 2022 livery. So we're going to assume we've got a little bit of a newer plane here.
Calgary clearance, Air Canada 288, EFR to Winnipeg, ready to copy.
All right. So I am going ahead. I'm using say intentions on this flight. It was testing it, gone through my 24-hour test period. Currently just signed up for a month. Just giving it a little bit of still a little bit further try, just to really see if it's something that I feel I'm going to use regularly. Definitely didn't get to try some things out. They didn't really have the tour and the taxi thing fully available in the test. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get off here relatively quickly. I'm not going to do anything with like self-loading cargo or any of that. But we're going to get the APU loaded. And what I'm trying to figure out is obviously with the pilot's life thing.
288 Calgary clearance information Tango is current. Cleared to Winnipeg. After departure, fly radar vectors to Lumlow, then is filed. Departure runway 35 right. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 124.525.
Right.
Squawk 1543.
So right now it looks like things are showing up.
To Winnipeg, fly radar vector to Lumlow, then as filed, departure runway 35 right. Initial climb 6,000. Departure 124.525. Squawk 1543.
Air Canada 288, read back correct. Expect runway 35 right. Contact ground on 121.3.
Cleared to Portland Hillsboro. After departure, fly vectors Doomra, then as filed, departure runway 17 right, initial climb to 6,000, departure 124.525, squawk 1753, Tango
Get our
Juliet
flight loaded in there. And hopefully we're in good shape here. Yep, so we've got that. So we'll get ourselves going. Somewhere here,
Learjet
I
Tango Juliet
thought...
Sierra. Read back correct. Ground will be on 121.3.
Ground on 121.3, Tango Juliet
Cruise
Sierra.
altitude is 39,000. So we're going to get ourselves set there.
Clearance delivery, good afternoon. Golf Tango Juliet Sierra requesting IFR clearance to Sanspit.
Duke Gulf Tango Juliet
we're gonna
Sierra.
set payload.
Clearance. I am working on that clearance.
Set fuel.
Stand by.
Cleared to Sanspit after departure. Fly radar vectors to Ipsit, then as filed. Departure runway is 17 right. Initial climb to 6,000. Departure on 124.525. Squawk 5255. Tango Juliet Sierra. Clearance Southwest.
All right. So we're going to go ahead here. I think I should be good. So I need to get... well, here, let me load. And then I need to get ATIS.
29er26. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading,
29er26.
altitude, and if flight following is requested.
That is crazy.
Read back all runway and hold
39er26.
short
Wow.
instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 120.825. Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray.
Okay.
Calgary
so let's
International
see.
Airport. Information X-ray. 1800 Zulu. Wind 200 at 5. Visibility 10. Sky conditions, view at 19,000 feet. Temperature 20.
So what's the
2.2.
wind?
Altimeter
200.
29er.
So yeah, it's got me
Arriving
set
and
for
departing runways
17 left,
35 right,
but that's not what
35
it's
left,
saying.
29er, 26. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 120.825. Advise on initial contact you have information X-ray. Calgary International Airport, information X-ray.
Alright.
1800 Zulu. Wind 200 at 5. Visibility 10. Sky.
Alright. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to call in for our clearance.
Calgary ground, Honda Jet 7 Whiskey Alpha Whiskey, looking to pick up IFR Great Falls.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
Okay. And I need IFR to Fort McKay Horizon. Calgary clearance, Arctic 1700, looking to get IFR clearance to Fort McKay Horizon. So the one thing I have noticed with say intentions, it takes a lot longer than beyond ATC to process, so it's spinning away here.
Arctic 1700, Calgary clearance, information X-ray is current. Cleared to Fort McKay Horizon. After departure, fly radar vectors to Avram, then is filed. Departure runway 17 left. Initial climb altitude 6,000 feet. Departure on 124.525, squawk 2442.
Cleared to Fort McKay Horizon. After departure, fly radar vectors to Avram, then is filed. Departure runway 17 left. Initial climb altitude 6,000 feet. Departure 124.525, squawk 2442, Arctic 1700.
Ground on 125.35.
Radio check.
Alright, so let me set myself back to 17 left.
Arctic 1700, read back correct. Ground will be on 121.3.
Calgary clears delivery, Air Canada 266.
Ground 121.3, Arctic 1700. Alright, so the difference is it'll put it in here, but it won't fully move it. So I'm going to need to do that. So we will change there, and then and again, I could have the co-pilot do things, so forth. Those are things I'm going to have to learn. So and I'll give you, I guess, a little bit of what was going on as I go along on the flight. Obviously, things are going to be a little bit challenging here and there. So let's see. All right. So we're going to go to performance. We're going to get the initial request. We can go up here, keep going on our fuel. We don't need center tanks with what we've got. We've already got 39. We've got this. Let's get these flipped on. So I'm just trying to kind of keep things moving while this does what it's doing.
Ground, WestJet 1525. Taxi
Okay.
to gate.
So we're going to do departure 17 left. I'm doing rodeo, which is just basically a direction off a little bit. But like they said, it's all vectors. So what I'm trying to do, because the thing that Say Intentions does is it definitely is much more proper. Let's say that. Okay, Seekic. I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of Inuit words or whatever in these airports.
1525, so. Calgary ground taxi departing via Delta 6 Bravo, Juliet Hotel, Hotel Bravo. Have a good day.
All right. So we've got that. So now if I go to init reference, set our flaps, we should, there we go. Got our V speeds.
Hotel Bravo.
Okay, vector.
1525.
WestJet 1525, turn left, heading 110.
Okay,
Canadian
so
4545, Calgary clearance.
everything
cleared to
looks
Edmonton
good
Area.
there.
After departure, fly radar vectors to Bitka, then as filed. Climb and maintain 1000. Departure on 124.525.
Get ourselves there.
4256. Information
Get
alpha
our
is current.
flaps up to 5. Okay, 6,000 is good. All right. Calgary ground. Whoops.
Clear to Edmonton as filed. After departure, fly vectors to Bitka, then as filed. Climb and maintain 1000. Departure on 124.525. Squawk 4256.
Arctic 1700, Calgary ground, go ahead.
All right. Well, I knew who we were, but it shouldn't have.
Calgary ground, Air Canada 288, ready for push and start.
Air Canada 288, Calgary ground, pushback and start approved. Information Tango is current.
Calgary ground, Arctic 1700 at gate 53, ready for push and start.
Ground, Air Canada 288, ready for taxi.
Arctic 1700, push and start approved. Face east.
Face east, Arctic 1700. Alright, so I assume GSX will work just fine here. Hopefully. Okay. I'm gonna have to update it, I guess. It told me earlier it's outdated, and oh, I know what I need to do. I need to get my transponder. So what were we? 2442. Whoops. So should be set there.
November Sierra, requesting taxi to runway 1.
All right. So now we're set there. Okay. I guess we'll do SAMSIC assistance. But that's right, we need to get the blocks off here. So ground, we are on APU power. So let's get
BPM
everything
Golf, Charlie
set.
November Sierra, Calgary ground. Taxi to runway 11 via Papa. Alpha, cross runway 8, then Whiskey. Contact tower on 118.4 when ready for departure.
You know, and the difference is, like, on Calgary here, I've got like 7 or 8.
Contact tower on 118.4 when ready for departure.
I've got 7 or 8 different things going on here. Alright, are my... Technically, my brakes aren't on, but... Alright. We'll see if I can avoid my caution light coming on. I've been terrible with that, honestly. Alright, so we should be able to start firing things up here. So I don't think I need to do anything with this to have it track. It's got things marked: server connection status okay, flight simulator connected, flight stage pre-flight. That's marked green, which it wasn't before.
62 Papa Bravo. I do not see any runway 26 in Calgary.
Okay, so I'm going to want my tail to the right. Okay, I believe my parking brakes are released, but I guess we'll do it again. It should start moving pretty quickly. Okay, engines are spinning up. So we'll get our flight directors going so everything can...
Piper 2, Papa Bravo, apologies for the confusion. Expect runway 26 for departure. QNH 1001. Winds 250 at 9. Verify you have information, Alpha, and advise when ready to taxi.
Okay. It is picking up ground speed 1 or 2 miles an hour, so I'm assuming it's working fine. It'd be very disappointing if I suddenly found out it was not. Alright, so we've got our engines going. Because yeah, you're also able, there's a setting that I saw that if you set your taxi light, it'll, it's interesting, no liveries on some of these, so, you know, using FSLTL for injection, and clearly it looks like we've got a lot of just white planes in here, which is strange. I mean, you'd think they'd be Air Canada or something. I mean, we are at Calgary. It's not like we're who knows where.
Again, I do not have any runway 26 in Calgary to Papa Bravo.
Piper 2, Papa Bravo, apologies for the confusion. Expect runway 26 for departure. Winds are 250 at 8.
I can see why they are having a problem. They just said they don't
Verify
have
you have
that.
information, Alpha, and advise when ready to taxi.
Okay, so we can...
Calgary ground, WestJet 109, Alpha and Bravo are not on my chart. Looking for taxi directions to runway 29.
So, I wonder if I'm going to have problems here. I hope not. It's disappointing. Alright. So, we'll set our parking brakes, and then we're going to have to confirm engine start, which we can do. And that will get us disconnected. They've been doing a lot of updates on GSX, I will tell you that. I think I've pulled 3 updates already in the last month, for sure. So yeah, it's intriguing, to say the least.
WestJet 109, pass your message.
Calgary ground, WestJet 109, ready for taxi.
Calgary ground, Golf Tango Juliet Sierra, request.
Calgary ground, Arctic 1700, ready for taxi. Let's see if it gives us something that we can read. So I'm going to pull up a little nav map, because that seems to be something I need to do.
Golf Tango Juliet Sierra, pass your message. Arctic 1700, taxi to runway 17 left via Echo Delta.
Calgary clearance, Piper 622 Papa Bravo is requesting IFR to Renton.
Okay. Runway 17 left via Echo Delta, Arctic 1700. Okay, so this one is pretty clear, so I'm not quite sure what the problem was for folks there before.
Piper 622 Papa Bravo, Calgary clearance, cleared to the Renton Aerodrome after departure. Fly radar vectors to Dumra, then is filed. Climb and maintain 7,000. Departure frequency 124.52, squawk 1525.
clear to Renton. After departure, flight radar vector to Dumora, then R5, climb and maintain 7,000. Departure frequency is 124.5, squawk 1525. 2 Papa Bravo.
Piper 2, Papa Bravo, readback correct. Expect runway 26, contact ground on 125.35.
Cherokee 315 X-ray Papa, hold short of taxiway Delta traffic on final approach.
Holding short of Delta Cherokee 315 X-ray Papa.
Contact ground on 125.35, Tango Yankee, Niner. Calgary ground requesting clearance for startup and pushback. Tango Yankee, Niner. Over the tower, Tango Juliet Sierra. Thank you.
Gulf Tango Juliet Sierra. Contact tower on 118.4. King Air 145 Kilo Alpha cross, runway tree 1 left, contact tower for further instructions.
Crossing runway tree 1 left will contact tower King Air 145 Kilo Alpha.
Arctic 1700, contact tower on 118.4, safe flight. Gulf Tango Juliet Sierra, contact departure on 119.8.
Departure on 119, Tango Juliet Sierra.
Clearjet Tango Juliet Sierra, contact departure.
Over to departure, Tango Juliet Sierra. Over to departure, Tango Juliet Sierra.
Runway 17 left, cleared to land. Skyhawk 701. Calgary Tower, Skyhawk 701, requesting runway change to 35 right.
Skyhawk 701, winds 155 at 6, runway 35 right, clear to land.
Air Canada 0427, contact departure.
Air Canada 0427, contact departure. Calgary Tower, Seminole, November 935, Lima X-ray inbound ILS 17 left.
Seminole 935, Lima X-ray, Calgary Tower, turn right, heading 290 vectors for the ILS runway 17 left approach.
Tower, Canada Air 3023, you can cancel IFR.
Canada Air 3023, Calgary Tower, clearance on request. Stand by. Canada Air 3023, Calgary Tower, welcome to Calgary. Contact ground on 125.35. Canada Air 3023, Calgary Tower, IFR cancellation received. Squawk VFR. Frequency change approved.
Gulf Tango Juliet Sierra, contact departure.
Over to departure, Tango Juliet Sierra. Have a good afternoon.
V1.
Gulf Tango Juliet Sierra, contact departure.
Over to departure, Tango Juliet Sierra.
WestJet 123, contact departure.
Contacting departure, WestJet 123.
Over to departure, Tango Juliet Sierra. Over to departure, Tango Juliet Sierra.
November 781 Alpha Lima, climb and maintain 12000. Climbing to 12000, November 781 Alpha Lima.
Well, this is really irritating because I just realized I've had my microphone muted. I don't know for how long.
Frontier 210, descend and maintain flight level 220.
So I think at one point
Flight level 220, Frontier 210.
at one point I muted my microphone, and probably because I was coughing, and just realized looking at my OBS stream that my microphone was recording nothing. So, wow. So yeah, I talked about all kinds of things. This may be a really crappy episode then, because I don't know that I want to repeat, and then I just wish I knew how I could find out when I was muted, but there's not really a way to do that. that I know of. Sound dropped out again, which is what caused me to look in the first place. But yeah, I can't even remember when I did that. I'm worried my entire flight has been muted, and that will be unpleasant. So I guess what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to assume you haven't heard anything, because we still have quite a ways to go, I think. I probably still have an hour. So we're not getting any chatter from Say Intentions. I had gone ahead and posted a question. To the board, but I don't even know, like, if I was able to explain what was happening with Say Intentions. Alright, now I can see my location, and yes, I'm not even halfway there, but you know that from the status bar. So, I mean, I'm not sure. I think I might cut out the entire thing of wherever I muted myself, which might be a huge section. But I was, basically looking at the instrument panel like you normally would in an airliner. I mean, one of the main questions I had, which now will be certainly near the start of another block of conversation, if nothing else, is, if you happen to be joining and watching this, how do you think it would be fun to share this in the series? Like, just do really small segments of the flight, and it become similar to kind of the Neo-Fly piece. Other than a Neo-Fly, my flights are short enough right now that I still usually kind of keep them going in their entirety. But since these are commercial flights and they're significantly longer, I don't know that people are going to watch 3 or 4 hour videos. So keeping that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. We have got just a boatload of cloud cover. I guess it's just haze. I mean, it's not like we can still see the ground, but wow. Because initially I'm like, we can't see anything. But yeah, part of what I was discussing, and again, I don't know if it was before I was talking or not, like, we are at 0.79, we should be at 0.794, but alright, flight stage is cruise, so we're good. I mean, we do have a ground speed of 498. It's not like we're going shortly. I'm hoping at some point it will do something, but it just, I have tried to talk to it and it is doing nothing. So I'm worried we're not going to get any air traffic anymore, which sucks. But yeah, what I was going to get into was kind of trying to explain, because I was saying, well, this makes more sense here than where I've talked about it before, which was on my Farm Sim video in my Farmers Only Club feed, because that's kind of the main ongoing farming simulator thing I have. But with what I've seen in FS 2024, with getting into some of the stuff in FS Hub from Two-Tone Murphy that I've talked about, with the Firefly Air that they have going on there, that's kind of sucked me in a little bit. And so it's kind of like Flight Sim is starting to really, really draw me in and really keep my attention. And I found I just really don't have the enthusiasm that I did around Farming Simulator. And it feels, on one hand, it feels wrong just to say, all right, I guess I'm done with it, at least for a while, until I suddenly have a draw. Because there is a little bit of, well, are there a bunch of people on the channel that came here and are subscribers because they like Farming Simulator content? And if there suddenly is no Farming Simulator content, do I suddenly have a bunch of people that leave? Not that it's the end of the world, but Obviously, I'd prefer to have folks that are enjoying what I'm putting out. And it's not as if I hate Farming Simulator. I'm just really struggling with the waste of time that Farming Simulator is going to be until, again, it reaches parity with what we've had in previous versions once mods come out and so forth, because out of the box it's going to be extremely limited like it always is. So but yeah, up to this point, between popping around in the menus in Pilot's Life for 45 minutes to an hour, and then, you know, getting the plane ready, loading everything up, you know, I've spent several hours here, and I was hoping that Say Intentions would be doing some stuff, so I did go ahead and pay for a month because I really kind of want to see what I ultimately think. You know, if I use it regularly, I'll certainly do the annual, because it basically gives you 2 months free, which certainly makes sense. It's interesting when a Pilot's Life like refreshed in the background, there appear to be a ton of planes behind the map, but then when you're here on the map, there's just there's 4 around Calgary, and then me heading up where I'm heading. I mean, I honestly think the guy that I passed is from my airline is he's got to be flying from here back, I would think, but I don't know. But yeah, we're just basically staying in the province of Alberta here, so it's going to be interesting what my experience with Canadian North is going to be. But and again, I hate the fact that I didn't have the microphone on, because it just creates this weirdness where it's like, did I already tell you what I'm going to tell you? And then you're going to be like, dude, you already told us.
0 o'clock, 4 miles level at 90500.
But obviously, I don't know. You know, and it's weird because obviously Say Intentions is still present. Like it's speaking, but like I can't interact with it right now, and I don't know what to do, because I don't think I can like start mid-flight or something. I have no idea if that's possible, and I just don't know as I get closer to the airport, you know, what things are going to look like. So while I'm thinking of it, because the problem I had with LaGuardia is I got close, and then I hadn't even dialed things down, and I completely missed my descent. Let me go ahead and also change the range. Ooh, are we already? Really? Wow. That doesn't even seem right. Top of descent is that close? Maybe. I mean, I guess that's 40, almost 50 miles out. And again, I think the whole flight was like 350. So, I mean, that would be a good hunk of stuff. And now I don't remember what I was like, ooh, I'm going to repeat this thing. Now I don't remember what I was going to reference. I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, I'm really trying to figure out what I want to do. You know, I'm like, because I'm worried too. Like, if you had no audio from when I was in here, you know, again, I think I didn't start talking about things like, ooh, I had tried. No, actually, I think I did that right at the start, before the menu of how I got here, where I tried to get an up.
We'd like to pick up our IFR clearance to Calgary.
Where I tried to get a upgraded video card and try to go to a 4080, but it doesn't fit in my machine, so had to return it, and we'll just stick with the 3070 I have, which is usually pretty adequate. Most people are pretty happy with the quality of stuff and so forth. It just, I did run this flight partially to test that I ran from O'Hare to LaGuardia, because over New York I have problems with my current.
Calgary direct us even minute filed squawk 1766 and ident for Tango Juliet here.
So I have problems over New York with my setup, and so I do have extra memory. I did keep that from the stuff I ordered. So I've got an insane amount of memory now, well over the ideal specs from Microsoft. I have 96 gig instead of just 64 at this point, because I bought 64 thinking, well, in case I have to swap it out, I don't just want to have another 32 and then I'm just stuck at 32. I know there's typically a couple pairs of memory that you can put in, but
Center King Air Golf Tango Juliet here. We'd like to pick up our IFR clearance to Calgary.
so this isn't live traffic. SI doesn't have that. It's either it's probably recorded stuff, because I don't have any planes that even Little Nav Map are reporting near me, let alone well, I mean, there's nothing showing up, so just not sure if they're live or not, but
5317 and ident Tango Juliet here.
But yeah, so far pretty straightforward with the pilot's life thing. I mean, it didn't require much. It definitely has some pieces that intrigue me. I do like the fact that it kind of creates this schedule and you kind of have to do it, but the fact that you're able to kind of refresh, regenerate, set the criteria, it doesn't make it significantly different than these type of generators in
we can cancel our IFRs then.
In the VA.
You as well, Tango Juliet here. Clearance delivery, good afternoon. King Air Golf Tango Juliet here, ready to copy IFR clearance to Calgary International.
Alright, so we've turned a little further north, but one of the things, I guess, was I looked up this flight and found it on FlightAware, but everything said like the duration was like 6 minutes, so it's like once you went a certain amount north, like there wasn't any tracking or something. I'm not sure what it's supposed to indicate, but that's how it reported it, so I didn't have a departure and arrival like you normally would. It just basically said it left Calgary and then it ended at this space in the air, I guess, but sometimes it was 35 minutes, sometimes it was 6, so it wasn't even super consistent. So I don't know, but anyway, we're coming up on our top of descent, so let's pay attention to that a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and set this for now, because I just don't want to have a problem. But we'll see if it starts descending. I mean, I'm assuming pilot's life will immediately change to descending or something, because right now it's telling me flight stage cruise. It's been pretty good at kind of indicating things right away. I'd really love to be done in 23 minutes or less. I don't know that that's going to be possible. It could be, because in theory my flight time's 41 minutes, and it certainly looks like I'm 2/3 of the way there. It's interesting now too, it stopped showing me a large area and now has expanded or zoomed in a little bit more, where I'm focused more on my landing point.
Expecting direct to Tango India Mike in 5 Spirit 792.
I mean, because the other challenge that happened with SI is, as soon as I took off from Calgary, probably even before I took off from Calgary, the information of where it's got my comms, it's all at Fort McKay Horizon Airport, which is where I'm headed. And, therefore, Alright, so yes, now flight stage is transition to from cruise, which I had seen on the front end, but I didn't realize to from, yes, obviously up and down. So that makes sense. But yeah, we are getting close here, but my challenge is if I don't have any ATC, like I don't know. Okay, now we do. Wow.
Contact Edmonton Center on 135.7.
Contacting Edmonton Center on 135.7.
So I'm just curious. Let me try to call in one more time here, because what am I at? I'm on center clearance. Fort McKay, Fort McKay, Arctic 1700, flight level 330.
Arctic 1700, Edmonton Center, radar contact. Clear direct Avram.
I'm way past that. Cleared direct Avram, Arctic 1700.
Arctic 1700, identified. Good afternoon.
I mean, Avram was the first point out of Calgary, so that makes no sense. I mean, it's Edmonton Center, which is good, but I don't know. At least they're talking to me again, so that helps. But yeah, it seems like maybe we're not going to get a lot of chatter up here, because I'm guessing there is not near the air traffic up here either. Oh, we're starting to see the ground. But yeah, flying up here in the winter like this, it's going to be interesting. I probably should look at my de-ice stuff, because that's probably going to be a lot more important. So, let's see. We'll get our de-ice armed. So the last thing I want is that my controls don't work because they're frozen. That would be bad. Yeah, it is descending really fast. It's going down like 2,700. I think it was going like 4,000 at one point. So it's definitely dropping out of the sky.
Edmonton Center, Alaskan 3621 with you, flight level 370.
It also seems like being higher up, I'm going almost 60 or 70 knots faster down here. So I wonder up north here if traveling as high as we did is a bad idea. It was odd. But no, what I'm worried is, since in theory with SI you're trying to fly more with real weather, if I'm going to have just crazy snowstorms and stuff over the next few months. But you know what I might find is, hey, I'm okay with flying with full weather in most cases because it's not a problem. Let's see. So sorry, I've got to check something that someone looked at here.
Alaskan 621, contact Edmonton Center on 132.7.
132.7 for Alaskan 3621.
So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but there's no tower, there's nothing, there's clearance, but like literally everything, center clearance at Fort McKay. I'm thinking this is like, this may even be like an untowered airport. I don't know. So that may also be what we run into, is just there isn't going to be a lot of ATC up here, which would kind of suck, but it is what it is. At minimum, I got to work with these guys for a week, is what it seems like, because I don't think you can change to another airline, but you know, but it'll get me some experience as well. So, I know there's a resume and stuff within Pilot's Life. I didn't look at that before I started, so...
Arctic 1700, descend and maintain 6,000, QNH 29.77.
Alright, well, I am glad... Okay. Descend and maintain 6,000, QNH 29.77, Arctic 1700. Alright, so 2967, and we're going to descend and maintain 6,000, not 5,000. But I wanted to get it far enough. Alright, well, I'm glad we're getting ATC, so at least there's some hope there. But clearly, this is not super busy airspace, so there's...
Mooney 567, Bravo, Charlie, remain clear of restricted area 250 tree. Remaining clear of restricted area 250 tree, Mooney 567, Bravo, Charlie.
Wow. I don't know that I would have... I mean, I guess it was just a readback, but I don't know that I would have known what to... So, I'm thinking there's just not a lot of people that fly up here, so there's only so much say intentions traffic you're going to get. You know, I mean, the benefit is I'm sure they save, I don't know if they save everything, but they probably save a good amount, and, you know, if nothing else, they'll have some capacity, at least that's how I would do it, that would basically be like, well, yeah, I can chat with you or whatever. Oops, let me fix this. Look at that. We dropped like a rock suddenly because of the Q and H difference. But clearly that's important. And again, I don't understand all the dynamics of that well. But assuming that maybe because we're further north that operates that way. All right, it's leveling out to slow down and get me below 250 there. I'm assuming this is, you know, the other thing I didn't do was I never turned off the landing lights. I'm probably going to get dinged for that, but they're on now, so, or no, they're not. Now they're going to be on, so maybe I did turn them off. I don't know. I know some of that stuff will be on the report, and, you know, it'll tell us what we're doing. So we're coming up, there's this Athabasca deposit, Alberta oil sands along the Athabasca River. We're not going to really overfly it specifically, but it might be this thing. It looks like it's slightly the wrong shape. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. But, do I have a flight plan in? I think I might. Let's see. Yeah, I do. So we're 36 miles out. So, yeah, we probably need to start getting into configuring pretty soon to be ready for landing. So this worked out well. But excited to start on this adventure. Definitely something that I was looking at. And
1700, turn left heading 345 vectors for the RNAV runway 17 approach.
Alright, I think it'll get me there. Alright. Turn left 345 for the RNAV runway 17 approach, Arctic 1700. Because it's going to do that. Wants to turn left, so interesting. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Although in theory, I suppose I should be trying to get in the habit of doing what it's telling me to do. So let me Let me do that. We'll do heading select, and then we'll let it bring me in where it wants to. But yeah, now we're 28. Because yeah, it's not ILS, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But yeah, we should be over to the right, so it's interesting how it's taking me out this way. But if I'm going to, be paying for fancier air traffic, I guess in theory I should utilize the fancier air traffic. Otherwise, if I'm just ignoring it, I don't need fancy air traffic. So again, I don't know that it would penalize me for ignoring it. Like, I'd still get there, I think. I mean, we'll see what it does, but because yeah, my heading is 345, but we're tracking 347. Maybe it's a magnetic north thing. Not sure. Because yeah, like, this is bringing us into a weird angle. I don't like it, honestly. Oh, I see. Because this is the runway 17 approach. So, this is not the way I would be approaching normally. So let me see if I do this. So my guess is it's going to take me up to Ompam. So we'll see if that's what it's doing, but my guess is that is what it's doing, because that looks very much like the line I'm on. Now, I'm hoping we should have plenty of fuel. I've still got 6,000 pounds.
Arctic 1700, turn right heading 360.
Turn right heading 360. Okay. All right. So it's vectoring us in a little closer to the airport than I might like. I mean, it should be, might be that, I don't know. But it's over in that direction somewhere along the river. So it could be over here. I'm not sure. Right, so at Kedmo. Alright, so what I want to do, though, now that I think about this, let's see. Let me go here. We're going to do flaps 30. We're going to put that in there. I'm going to clear the message, but I'm going to change this now. We're doing an RNAV, and I think we're going to do that. So let's see if I do that. And then put that there, execute. Alright, so that's, yeah, it hasn't told me to drop below 6,000, so we will leave that alone. I don't know why it was going so slow, but it was. So yeah, I was in pretty good alright, let's just take a peek out here. Hoping there's an airport here. I don't know that I'm seeing one. Maybe it's there? I mean, I can't imagine they're having us land on like a grass runway, but I'll tell you, this is a little scary looking. Yeah, there's some kind of mine or something down here. I don't know, maybe the runway's more there. Because yeah, well, the runway's only 6,000 feet, so it is not the longest thing in the world. I mean, I should certainly be able to do it. It's going to be a lot more challenging.
Arctic 1700, descend and maintain 4,000, turn left, heading 340.
Maintain 4,000, turn left, heading 340, Arctic 1700.
Arctic 1700, 4 miles from KVOM. Turn right, heading 015, descend and maintain 3,000 until established. Cleared for the RNAV, runway 17 approach.
Turn right, heading 015, descend and maintain 3,000 until established, cleared for the RNAV approach. Alright, so I think at this point, let's see. So I need it to go to, yes, OPAM. Let me do that, execute. There we go. Alright. So now it should be able to do that and then kind of make that turn. Why is it not dropping? So I definitely want it to get down if I can. Okay, and it did clear me to 3,000. So I'm trying to not just do what I need to, but try to do what it's telling me to, and so be honest with it, but I just don't know. So, alright, we'll get that in. I mean, in theory, it should not establish on there until I turn all the way around at KVOM. No, it did. Interesting. So it locked in. I don't think I can... Okay, yeah, it's just going to be single channel. Because it doesn't have ILS, so I don't think I can use both. Well, I'm glad the say intentions thing came back and was working as it should. We should have enough room here. We are 11 miles away. I'm gonna get myself some flaps. Alright, so now we got the glide path. Interesting that we caught it above. I don't know that I've ever seen that happen. I'm glad it did it again, but that is a first. Alright. I hope there's an airport out here, because if somehow I get damaged... I mean, I guess there's not a... whatchamacallit? There's not a thing that, like, means that you have to land at a certain rate in this. I don't think... I mean, I'm sure I'll get dinged for a poor landing if I, like, slam it down or something, but... Alright, so at this point we're going to put the gear down, because now we're 9 miles away. I mean, I'm guessing it's that, but that does not look like a runway.
Arctic 1700, Fort McKay, Horizon Airport at your 1 o'clock, 0 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. So long.
Change to advisory, Arctic 1700. Alright, so basically I get nothing else, but that's because we're up here and we just basically talk to each other, is kind of what will happen. Alright, I guess it looks a little better. But, yeah. Alright, so let me get slowed down. Should be okay. It's sloughing off a good amount of speed there. Now if I go down to 2.5, will that be too much? Because again, I can go, what's my 131, so 136 I can go to, because you want to go like 5 above. And again, if I can do that, that would be good, because otherwise it's going to be challenging to stop in 6,000 feet. So I probably also want to do that. We definitely want to arm the speed brakes. And we will get ourselves full flaps at this point and get ready to bring this sucker in. Speaking of 1,000, that will help. Alright. So good news is I'm kind of on time, so, alright. I'm happier now. I see a runway. I see a real runway. But initially I'm like, this is looking like I'm just landing on a grass strip.
1700, Fort McKay, Horizon Airport at your 2 o'clock, 3 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Report cancellation of IFR or missed approach this frequency. Take care.
Oh, I didn't change to advisory was my problem, so that's why they did what they were doing there. I'm like, wait a minute, why is it telling me this again? And the airport's not at my 2 o'clock, so 3 miles is probably accurate, but yeah, it was definitely not my 2 o'clock. Alright, so time to take over and get this puppy down here. So, don't know how many people we're bringing with us on our flight, but I'm sure they love having service out here, though, I'll tell you that. I can only imagine, but God, they really do. I mean, these are real air routes and stuff. I mean, I cannot believe they're flying 738. God, look at the wind.
50.
The crosswind is nuts.
20.
Come on.
10.
Alright. Wasn't the greatest, but it's not bad. Alright, and we are slowing down incredibly fast, but not fast enough to vacate. Alright, so. Alright, and because we're just changing to advisory and all that, like, I'm not going to get any taxi instructions, so I'm gonna terminate it. Or, well, no, it says taxi in, so maybe I need to. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Nope, nope, nope. So, let me do that. We'll swing around this way and we'll turn around. But obviously we need to get off the runway. So I'm trying to turn appropriately, see if I can not hit the grass. I don't think that's going to be possible, but yeah, I mean, these are real routes. I mean, that's part of what, at least what Pilot's Life claims is their uniqueness, is you basically get to fly these real routes that people use and whatever. So, I mean, that means they're flying 737s into this airport to bring whatever they're bringing. I mean, again, we're not flying a freighter, we're flying passengers, so I don't know that it tells me specifically, you know, one way or the other, like, hey, like I don't see a manifest in Pilot's Life that you brought X number of why is this not turning? Anyway, let me get my flaps up here, and let me, the one thing I didn't do is I don't have my taxi lights on, these off, so that's gonna not help. I don't know, we'll go over this way. I honestly don't know what makes sense, but yeah, there's just literally nothing here. I mean, wow. That is nuts. Just think about, like, how remote this is. It's crazy. Wow. It is crazy. Alright, so we've taxied in. I'm going to go ahead, because we don't have any power, I'm going to go ahead and start the APU. I don't even know if we've got any services here, for God's sakes. But before I turn off the engine, we'll do that. And then I'll see what my score looks like and all that. But how did we do? Yeah, not bad. We've got a little over 5,000 probably left. Yeah, 5.1. Alright, and I can put the speed brake back. So we get those deployed, because I think it does all that kind of scoring, like, because it wants you to fire things up appropriately and that. Because it's still telling me flight stage is taxi in, but there's no gates that I know of. I mean, I'm pretty sure GSX is going to be like, I don't know what you want me to do here. Yeah, 0 suitable parkings, but in theory, there's a bunch of GA parkings. But I'm sure we're on them. I can't imagine that we're not. Let me look at my Navigraph chart and see if, like, what this airport looks like, but yeah, it's literally where I'm at. That's the only place to vacate the runway. Just really, really weird and odd, but anyway. Alright, so we now have that. And then we can... Do I have the parking brake on? I think I do. Yes, I do. Alright. So we'll power these down. Okay, post-flight. Please remember to submit your flight. Okay. So, I guess I will hit submit flight. Are you sure you want to submit the flight? Yes, you just told me to do so. Your flight has been submitted.
Mooney 456 Delta Charlie, turning final touch and go runway 36.
Alright. So now it's got my next thing. So my schedule, if I go back, yep, it's gone. My logbook. Let me bring this back over. So my logbook, Canadian Northern, here we go. Aircraft, so I did a score of 88. I guess that's not bad. Let's take a look. What did we do wrong? Alright, so general, my pitch angle, my bank angle, my G-force, my overspeed, and my stall were great. Taxi out, oh, I didn't have my beacon light on. Alright. Take off, I did not have my strobe light on. And then climb, didn't pull flaps up because I guess I forgot, and landing light off before 10,000. So I didn't do that. Approach, so I probably armed the spoilers too late. Alright, landing rate, not great. So 3 of 5. And then, again, beacon light. So it's all the lights, basically. Alright, if we look at landing details, landing rate, G-force, pitch bank, autopilot off. Okay. So I'm guessing that's the touchdown point. But overall, I mean, I would say for first flight, being able to get, because I don't know, is it what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 75, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it's out of 100. So I got 88 out of 100. That means I only lost 12 points. So that would seem to be pretty good, honestly. So we've got the schedule. Again, I assume if I go to the job market, like, well, let me go to the dashboard, because somewhere I saw like resume or whatever at the bottom. Yeah, so current contract is the one we looked at, where I can change the contract type. So it's good that you can do that in there. Okay. So junior officer, current rating, total number of flights. And I don't know if the rating is because I got 88. What kind of achievements do they have? Oh, I see. So 1 completed flight. So basically a lot of completed flights, different destinations. Okay, long haul, perfect score. So yeah, different things you can get. $1 million in the bank account. Wow. Oh, you can have friends or something. Interesting. Oh, I uploaded the profile picture, so I accomplished that. 2 of 30. I didn't see that. And then there's my inventory. What's my photo album? I assume I have nothing. Alright, so that's just your investment and education items if you buy that. But I guess my question is, why did I not get paid? Or oh, I think they said you get paid weekly. So that would make sense. So I tried to get into tools before. I see, okay, random flight, and then add-on recommendations. Oh, okay. It's just...
Archer 204 Bravo Tango departing runway 14 left crosswind departure.
Alright, let's see.
Charlie, holding short runway 14. I'll hold until your departure roll is underway.
Roger that, I'm rolling now.
So, will it auto-detect? It doesn't look like it's doing anything. Alright, and then we do have checklists and all that. So, not a whole lot of extra stuff, but I don't need it to have extra stuff. I just need it to do what it does, and, you know, it's a little over $30, so... in any event, we've done it. We've got 70 out of 2,000, so it's going to take us a little bit of time, but if you've enjoyed this, as always, and you're not a subscriber, please drop a like and consider subscribing. Those things are greatly appreciated. Obviously, our next leg is going to be getting ourselves back here to Calgary. Once again, I assume we'll start putting things all over this map, or at least up here in Canada. But it's an intriguing start to our life as a pilot. But in any event, I will see you next time.